Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel, and in this video I'll be discussing the battery life on my brand new phone, the Realme 6. In the UK they've released two phones, a Realme 6 and Realme 6 Pro. However, in this video we'll be discussing the battery life on Realme 6 only. This phone has got, by the way, a 6.5 inches IPS LCD screen, which is a full HD plus affair, so pretty dense, pretty strong, but not quad HD, obviously then resulting in better battery life as opposed to a flagship phone or any phone which has a quad HD plus or quad HD screen, which obviously consumes more battery life. But the phone has 4300 milliamp battery, so I was expecting some good decent results. Okay, before we start this, let's have a look and see which version of Android this phone is running along with the basic core specs. So going into settings, and then from there going into about phone, which should be down there somewhere, about phone, there we go. And as you can see, it's running Android version 10 along with version 1.0 for the Realme UI, which we all know is based on a Color OS. However, for the first time, Realme are now using their own version of the UI, which is Realme UI version 1.0, like I said. So in the days, months and years to come, obviously we'll be getting more updates on Realme UI versions. As you know, it's running octa-core MediaTek Helio G90T, a very powerful chipset for this budget, and it's slightly in the upper mid-range. So far, the phone has really impressed me when it comes to raw processing power. Obviously, it comes with 8 GB of RAM. There's also a 4 GB version, but for performance sakes and for those who want good performance at this budget, I would rather have you spend about 30, 40, 50 quid more and get the 8 GB version instead, because this is really worth it. As you can see, device storage available 104 and total 128. I'll install obviously a few apps, a few games, and along with other details, as you can see, model number RMX 2001. Okay, so without any further ado, let's quickly get started and look into our battery stats. Those of you who follow me, you know my style, guys. I take screenshots of different stats, Wi-Fi, 4G, standby, and various other figures, and then give you my real life experience on the battery life. Okay, so let's start off with the very first screenshot. As you can see, the phone, by the way, comes, as you know, is in fact the only phone in the world at this price point which comes with a 90 Hz refresh rate. This is something which you see on flagship phones, like for instance the Galaxy S20 series, or on the OnePlus 7T and the OnePlus 8. You will see this, but none on the budget end. For around £200 mark, this probably is the only phone which gives you 90 Hz. On the first screenshot, I switched it straight away to 90 Hz. You also have an option of auto select, so you will refresh it as and when required for whatever the task is, but I normally tend to keep it on 90 Hz because the phone, obviously, like I said, has got a massive 4300 mAh battery along with IPS LCD display. Okay, so as you can see, the brightness is normally kept around in my videos, as you know. Mostly in my testing, I keep it around 70 to 80% mark. On this occasion, it was just close to around 80% because the screen is not as bright. You have to increase it all the way to 80% to really enjoy it. But obviously, if you take it all the way to 100%, the battery will be consumed a lot quicker. Okay, so further down, as you can see, my normal usage: Chrome, Dio, Instagram, social media, YouTubing, Facebook. And further going into detail, you can see chroming for nearly 2 hours. As you can see, lots of browsing. Obviously, I love browsing, especially when it comes to testing the battery life on the phone. It's always good to really push it to the limit and see how it performs. Also, Dio, you can see 36 minutes. This was, by the way, video calling, calling my family on Dio for over half an hour with non-stop video conferencing as well. Instagram nearly an hour, as you can see. Also YouTubing for nearly an hour as well. So heavy social media, heavy YouTubing, and the phone, after 11 hours and 42 minutes since full charge, lasted me for 7 hours and 58 minutes. That's the total screen on time, so not looking too bad. By the way, this was all on 4G and not Wi-Fi. I wanted to push the phone to the limit, have 90 Hz, have the 4G, and see how the battery lasts. And the battery really impressed me really well. I wasn't using any of the power saving options. I kept it standard out of the box. As you can see, it says intelligent power saver recommended, so this remained on as the way it was when I took the phone out of the box. Okay, again, another screenshot again on 4G, and I switched it back to 60 Hz, and I wanted to see if it will make any difference to the actual screen on time. Once again, lots of photos, browsing, taken using the camera, Facebooking, Pages Manager, as you can, social media, lots of phone calls, YouTubing, Instagramming, all them bits and bobs. And eventually you can see Outlook, emails, obviously lots of work emails, personal emails, and nearly an hour and a half of sending emails. It was a very busy day, lots of typing. Chroming again, an hour as well, lots of researching, reading articles and stuff and things like that. Voice calling, nearly 2 hours of voice calling. By the way, when it comes to speakers on voice call, the phone has got a really crystal clear voice. The callers whom I was talking to never complained, and they said my voice was also very loud and clear, and I could hear them through the speaker, very loud and very clear, no issues whatsoever. So nearly 2 hours of calling, and then YouTubing for just over half an hour. Once the battery got down to 49%, I was able to achieve just over 5 hours of screen on time, meaning if I had gone at this rate with this brightness and everything in place the way it is, it would have given me 10 hours of screen on time again on 4G. Fantastic. Okay, whilst I was actually playing with the phone, a very important update came across. As you can see, the RMX 2001-11_8.24, and this update, by the way, includes various improvements, and most noticeably the added ultra steady feature which has been added to the actual camera. Those of you who follow me, you know me, I've already uploaded quite a few videos at 1080p and 4K, and this ultra steady mode has really made a significant difference to the quality of the video. If you haven't seen those videos, guys, please go on my channel. I'll also leave links down below. Have a look and see. You'll be really impressed. I was completely impressed. I didn't believe how stable it was for this price point, which is again fantastic. Anyways, applied this update, and then I switched it back to 60 Hz again. Now this time I was using a Wi-Fi, not 4G, mostly Wi-Fi, and it went down to 60 Hz. I really wanted to take things down a bit, go on Wi-Fi and see how much I could take out of the phone. Again, also dark mode on, took another step back to see how much screen on time I can get out of the phone. Twitter, Facebooking, Instagramming, social media, Chroming, as you can see, over 3 hours of browsing, watching videos and stuff and all sorts. Then foreground, as you can see, active for 53 minutes for Instagramming, with just under an hour of Instagramming. Also Amazon app I was using bought a few things here and there for household, nearly 3/4 of an hour for Amazon shopping. Outlook, emails again, half an hour of emails, and eventually I was able to achieve 9 hours and 18 minutes of screen on time with battery down to 10%. Again, very good run. Wi-Fi, I did use 4G every now and then, but mostly it was Wi-Fi. But if you're going to be using Wi-Fi only, you can easily get 10 hours or even 10 hours plus screen on time. The point is, you can see after 1 day and 7 hours. So the point is, this phone can easily last you a day. Even if you're an aggressive user, it can last you for almost 2 days if you are medium to aggressive user. So battery life, this phone has got no issues. As you can tell, full HD plus screen, IPS LCD, big battery, no problem so far. I've been really enjoying the battery life on this phone with no problems whatsoever. Okay, here I took the standby time. The battery was down to 56%, as you can tell, at 00:48 past midnight. So when I checked in the morning at 9:25, so you were looking at approximately around 9 hours, the battery went down to 54%, as you can tell by looking at the screen here. So again, very impressive stuff. That means in 9 hours overnight, and only lost 2%, from 56% down to 54%. Once again, very impressive figures, obviously down to Realme UI, the newer version, well optimized, along with a full HD plus screen and a very efficient MediaTek Helio G90T. Okay, once again, I took another screenshot here. As you can see, Chroming, social media, Facebooking, Chroming for 2.5 hours, Instagramming for nearly an hour, emails for half an hour, and eventually I was able to achieve 8 hours and 21 minutes of screen on time. Now you must be wondering why slightly less, because here I used the camera quite a lot, and on top of that I also used 4G as well. So it was a bit of mix with Wi-Fi and 4G both, but still 8.5 hours of screen on time is very acceptable and way above the industry standard, especially when it comes to flagship phones. It's amazing just how much budget and phones can really get so much for so little money. It's amazing. Sometimes it makes you think, is it really worth spending all that money on a flagship phone? Okay, as you can see, again, social media bits and bobs. Again, I was able to achieve 5 hours and 35 minutes of screen on time with Wi-Fi, the battery down to 38%. Again, would have easily touched 9 to 10 hours without any fuss. And by the way, all this time, if you go into the performance mode and the settings, I left it the way it was out of the box, which is smart performance mode, meaning it will automatically improve the performance based on whatever the scenario is. If you're going to be gaming, it's going to switch on to high performance mode. If you're going to be just using it for emails, browsing, normal bits and bobs, social media, Facebook and WhatsApping, it will stay on the normal smart performance mode. As you can tell from the screenshot, guys, and all the data that I've collected, the phone has got no issues whatsoever when it comes to battery life. Fantastic size by Realme, very well optimized UI, along with a very good, a very impressive upper mid-range chipset, which is the MediaTek Helio G90T, and I would recommend you getting this of 8 gig version of the phone and not the 4 gig, because it will enhance your performance and you will really and truly enjoy your phone. So guys, that's pretty much from me. If you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. Any questions, please feel free to ask me in the comment section, and like always, please subscribe as it helps, and I shall see you in the next video.